And good evening, Trojan fans, and welcome out to Walk-Ons on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday night here. It is week 4 upon us already, and the Trojans sitting at 3-0, so we'll absolutely take that beautiful crowd making its way in here tonight on game day eve. I am Doug Gann with the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by none other than, well, you see them back there, Sadler's Towing. That's product placement is what that is, but the folks at Sadler's Towing make it possible for us to be here at Walk-Ons. My partner in crime, Nick Magnano, joins us, but head coach Thomas Bachman is in the house. Coach, welcome.
Another Thursday.
Absolutely it is. And what does that mean?
Almost game time.
Almost game time. Look, I don't know that there, and in spite of me getting in trouble for supposed to be in other places, I don't think there's anywhere I'd rather be than Walk-Ons on a Thursday night.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Heck yeah.
It's been home away from home for a while now.
A little bit of housekeeping that we will do before we get the show started. Don't forget, next Thursday night, we will be on the campus of Alexandria Senior High School. We will not be in Walk-Ons next Thursday night. Going to have a lot of food out there, a lot of fun. It's homecoming, so the homecoming parade will be going. And we've just found in the years prior, we had about 3 of us out here on the show. And when we took it out on campus last year, we had about 300 that were out for it. So come out. Hannah Johnson and the folks will be cooking a lot of food. Ran out of food last year because just got a little overwhelmed with it, but that's next week, and that's a lot of fun. Also, our thoughts and prayers, everybody in Florida, as that storm is coming their way. You know, anytime you see a storm and it goes somewhere else, it's going to someone else. So we're certainly in prayers for all of them. Coach, you guys sitting at 3-0, great start to the season. That was up there. West Feliciana was a big win. Union Parish was another big one. But I don't know that there was a bigger game in the state in a long time that we've been a part of in a regular season game this early than that game that saw the 7th-ranked Destrehan Wildcats come into town.
Yeah, I would agree. It was a great atmosphere on Friday night. Really appreciative to the people of Alexandria, the people that support us, the people that support our boys and all the work that they put in. It was really, fun to be a part of. We've had some special moments through the years, the 50th anniversary of the school year, homecoming. A lot of people turned out. There's been a couple of here and there. Obviously, the semifinal game was very well attended. I thought there was a decent crowd against St. Thomas More when Walker Howard was a senior, pretty good. But that's the biggest crowd that we've had since we've been there, where people were showing up to watch a football game against, an anticipated matchup. So that was a lot of fun to be a part of, and to just kind of look around in pregame and peek up over your shoulder there towards the end and see the size of the crowd, the enthusiasm of the crowd.
Well, and they got there early.
Yep.
They were cooking, and it was great atmosphere. We go outside of the booth, and you get the smell of the barbecue pits going and different things are going on. So they got there early. They were loud the entire time, and they stayed the entire game. And that's where, man, you're learning what to do at a game too.
Yeah, those are the ultimate Friday night experiences, right. And it's why you play good people. Those fun matchups, and everything you just described is what it was. And I hope it's the first as far as this year playing at home. I hope it's the first of many more.
Nick told us off the air, and we'll talk a little bit of that as we jump into the game, talking about it. Nick, you have watched the offensive line, you said, grow up a little bit too. You were especially impressed with them this game too. Let's get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that since fall camp, mainly the continuity, is the main thing, but also some technical things that I look at, and pad level, the steps that they're making, physically as far as the technique, but most importantly, just the fact that, man, they're getting up the field and the screens, the screens in the scrimmage versus Acadiana, wasn't as clean as the ones that they've been, they've had. Just some of the things I've seen, but most importantly, just their continuity.
Yeah, and when you get, we've been able to keep the same group playing and healthy, and that's always the huge part of it. What you said, continuity, is you just get better through the reps of every day in practice, and then the game reps together. Hopefully that continues, throughout this year, and we take another step forward tomorrow night as far as that continuity and playing well. I mean, obviously we mentioned the offensive line, and I do want to go back and say all of their names, but I think you got to add the tight end group
without a doubt.
into that room too, just when we get into some of those things. But, as far as the offensive line, Aiden Price is our left tackle. Jacoby Morris, 3-year starter there at left
Aiden's
guard.
the only picture we don't have. When we put up the starters, we got to get a picture of Aiden up there. I don't know if he wasn't in the group or whatever it was, but 1T needs to get that for us.
We'll get that. So Aiden, then you got Jacoby Morris, 3-year starter. Caleb Pearl, been playing for us for a long time.
Right.
Last year's left tackle, moved to center. At right guard, you got Connor Reed. Right tackle, you got Peter Lofton. And of course, we're playing with multiple tight ends. Grayson Thibodeau comes over from defense. Tanner, 3-year starter, had a phenomenal play. Hate that we didn't get that one officially in the books on the catch and run there on the long touchdown there in the second half. And then, a junior that's kind of emerging and allowing us to get a little bit of more depth and trust some more guys to go out there on Friday night would be Bryce Letzinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about him a lot. And you start hearing those names of these kids that are saying, okay, we're going to start hearing more of these, similar to what we did last year. So let me ask you this then.
There's several sophomores that are in that group that we believe are going to progress and here, whether it's 12 months from now or whether it's 18, 20 months from now, going in junior, seniors, that there's a lot of kids that are going to progress. And so we feel good, about the future of that room.
So I'm gonna lob you this one up there too. This is one of those easy questions, easy answers, but I'd like to talk about it a little bit. I guess that chicken and egg scenario is the offensive line playing better because of all the skill positions players around it, or the skill position players in that offense clicking a little better because this offensive line is growing up?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think when you have the experience, and I was telling the kids in meetings this afternoon, talking specifically with the quarterbacks and the receivers, man, I feel really good, about the intelligence of the people in the room, and I do think that when you can create some variety and change some things, and they really understand what you're doing, it can make you maybe a little bit less predictable, although we say in the office all the time, you have tendencies for a reason.
Right.
People are going to break us down and say, all right, got a tendency. Well, that's usually for a reason that you have some tendencies. But I think it's both of them. I think that, the better the skill guys are, the better the running backs are. They can complement the offensive line. But when your offensive line's good and you got a good guy behind you, I mean, it's just complementary football. It's complementary offense. And I certainly think that's the case with this group. And as we talk, very happy with the result as far as the final. And, I guess you can't do better than win.
Right.
But, we still think that we can play better. We need to play better as we continue this thing. It seemed like a lot of drives were killed the other night because of penalties.
Well, and there are those kind of things you can work on and get fixed. You mentioned the word tendencies in there. It turns out that, and Nick brought it up during the game as well, on what turned out to be our Southern Air Cool Play of the game. You guys kind of went away from it, Tennessee. Brett, I know it may be a little bit early. Can you bring up our Southern Air Cool Play of the game? Nope. You're giving away the farm. You have to know it's going to be right here. Hang on, take that off. Yeah, there wasn't. You didn't give it. No, hit pause and pull that off of there. There you go. Take us through this play of the game.
We've shown variations of this, this look, whether we're handing it to Jimmy or whether we're naked and bootlegging out the back door, hitting JT. We hit him against Sterlington. We hit him earlier in this game, a couple of plays early, and just, the layers and the stacking of plays. And,
right.
As you run those things, the accountability of what people are doing and how they're fitting things. And it's really fun if you go back and watch that,
Take us through it one more time, Brett, on here too. And I think our audio will stay fine. So we'll be able to look at it. There's some things that we didn't catch on our camera that you were telling me about.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's on the our sideline shot of it. You can see Mingo squatting down right now. And the camera's going to go away from him, but you could see him, like I'm telling you, he recognizes it immediately. Soon as Donahoe's hands are up before the ball's even thrown. Like you just recognize that, all right, we got him, and was a huge play. I think that was the score to put us up 21-7.
It was, and it was a big one because they crashed down on the run. Just like, I mean, they were ready to bottle it up, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh goodness. Yep. And you got a guy like Jimmy Duncan drifting out wide open on there.
Yeah, and we hit Jimmy there, and then there's so many different variations in the way you can formation. Late in the game, a very similar thing where we hit Jimmy on the deep sail route. Yep. There to get that drive started. I think it was like a 30-yard completion, was a really huge play. We knew that, all right, we needed to do something on that final drive just to loosen them up just a little bit. And then we were able to hammer it the rest of the way with JT. But I thought that it's got some similarities to that. It's just presented, we tell them all the time, guys, these are just concepts. We can present them to the defense in unlimited number of ways if you understand things.
It's like a baseball swing. You're starting it a lot of different ways, and you end up in the same spot.
If you say so.
That's right. There you go.
No
Sorry about that. It's heating up. It's getting
guy here.
it's getting baseball season, but we got a lot of football going on without a doubt. Nick, your thoughts on that play of the game that we saw there, and going away from tendencies, what you brought up in that game?
Well, the thing about it is, I mean, everybody knows who JT is.
Right.
So if JT does not go, if he just loafs, as we call it, if he just loafs on that play and he doesn't go through what he's doing, then they know the ball's not going to him.
Right.
So that's another thing too. The quarterback has to sell it. I mean, it's things like that. But you brought up Thibodeau. You have Bion and Spikes who come in and give Thibodeau a chance to, you can use Thibodeau more. But you guys found something with him. I mean, y'all put him off right. You found something with him and Peter and Reed. And that was a big thing as well.
He's a hammer, and that's a lot of human coming at you when you start putting all those guys together.
Right.
Anybody watches the film, you always guarded in what you say, not going to give.
Right. Sorry about that.
No. I'm just talking about me. We started on that final drive, getting in some X over stuff and seeing how they were going to match some things formationally, and we're able to hit some big ones, that run that JT had there. I think it was ended up being a 16-yarder, but it was one of those where I think he gets, I don't know, he drags them to the 3-yard line, and go back and watch. We were really I'm critical of, boy, everybody should have been on that pile pushing it. We've got some that are not on the pile. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, we ain't here to cheer. We ain't here to, buy a ticket. Like, go get your butt involved and let's get that pile in the end zone. And just, that can be demoralizing.
Oh, yes.
Whenever that happens to you,
right.
People are like, golly, can we? And then they fall forward for another. It's like, God, yeah. But that is the result of a group effort where everybody is trying to finish.
Well, indeed, they are working just as solid of a unit as we've seen in a number of years. Guys, we've reached our first commercial break. Crowd is starting to make its way in. Again, they are filling up. We'll have that camera shot for you momentarily. Come out. You've got plenty of time. We're at walk-ons until 8-ish. Come out and enjoy it. You had your lemon butter chicken again prior to
I'm full.
That's great. With grits and broccoli is what it was. We saw a burger out here, had the boneless wings, and one other.
Blackened chicken pasta.
Blackened chicken pasta. And why did you get the blackened chicken pasta, you told me?
Chicken's already cut up.
That's exactly
awesome.
That's exactly why that he's doing it. Look, if you come to walk-ons for whatever reason and you get the blackened chicken, whatever it is, does it get cut up for you at home too?
No.
That's why you like coming here. Guys, we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to talk about our player of the game. We're going to talk about our Express Pros. You had one job, Honoree. We'll do all of that when we come back. We'll finish up talking about that big Destrehan game. We'll look ahead to our second, I tell you, defending champion that we will go visit here in the non-district slate. We'll do all of that when we come back to Walk-Ons on a Thursday night. It is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, right here on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah.
Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
To walk-ons on another beautiful Thursday evening here, and you see the screen we've got in front of us that lets us know everything that's going on. But in the back, you get to see who's going to beat the Cowboys tonight. So that's always promising, is to see who sends the Cowboys down. That's always who dat. Sorry, we might have lost one of our big sponsors with that. Oh gosh. We're in trouble for that one. Now, wait a second. We saw our cool play of the game a little bit earlier. That's brought to us by Southern Air, of course, our security sporting goods that I think it's called foreshadowing, but Brett actually showed the whole thing and left it up there a little bit and got that. But I don't like to call out names. That's like the offensive lineman getting called for holding. That's all. He does 99 things out of 100 perfect, and we're going to call out the one thing that he doesn't do. But it's no secret, Coach. In a lot of games,
I noticed how you put a "we" in there.
That's me and Nick is what that's what we'll do. A lot of games that we've seen, this young man, this young adult has not played in some second halves just because the game has gotten to that point that he's not need to. But he ran for 99 yards in the first half and 151 in the second half, I believe. Finished the night on 250, which puts him a little over 520 for the season, about a third of what he had all of last year. And I think 5 touchdowns on the ground and 6 overall is on there. But our security sporting goods player of the game was none other than senior JT Lindsay. Those of you that are watching at home saw that. Coach, give me a little thought on JT. I know we talk about him a lot, but dadgum, he's JT.
Yeah, best player on the field, and we've got a lot of good players.
Right.
I don't say that to diminish all the great players that we have, but I constantly tell the quarterback sometimes when we've got, some options where hey, it's never a bad option to give it to the best player on the field.
Right.
So when in doubt, if you're confused, if it's cloudy for you, let me clear it up for you. Give it to the best player on the field. And no, I mean, I thought it was a great performance. We've seen so many of them through the year that it, walked off the field and kind of like, well, seen that before, didn't expect anything different. Although I was very, very proud, to finally see the numbers and to see that it was 18 carries in the second half when we wanted to make a commitment at halftime to let's run the football and to be able to do it was big.
coming into the game, he had 15 carries in game one, 14 carries back for. He had 29 carries in 2 games coming into the season, and he carried the ball 30 times that night. And that's just putting it on his shoulders. You guys come out and you strike and put up 35 big points, only 10 points in the second half, but you did exactly what you needed to do in grinding it away.
Yeah, we had an opportunity for more points. We left some points out there, and that's not, the lack of points in the second half was not just because we took the air out of the ball. We missed a couple of things. We committed some penalties. We shot ourselves in the foot. Don't know that it would have been necessarily as high scoring, as the first half. But you never know if you take advantage of a few opportunities that we had. But not to diminish what we're talking about right now, which is JT and being the player of the game. And there's a quiet confidence that is about him in the way that he carries himself. I've talked about this a lot with the kids this week, and I think that he is a great personification of this. Is that where does confidence come from?
Right.
Not arrogance, not entitlement. Trying to get them to understand, that you think you deserve something that you haven't earned when you act entitled, or confidence comes from knowing that you've put the work in and that you know that you're capable of performing well and you have past performance to be able to point to. And I think all those things are why there is I don't know what he's like away from. He's always very, very quiet.
Right.
Speaks when needs to speak, but it's not a look at me, look at me, look at me. There's just a quiet confidence, but there's humility with it. And very proud that I've had the opportunity, that we've had the opportunity to coach him here these last couple of years.
I was going to go to Nick real quick, but I got to ask you this too. I guess it was one of the Monday or Tuesday practices prior to the Jamboree, and we were out there taking some footage and doing some other things, and you made it a point to tell him one thing about his senior year. Do you remember what you told him? Told him folks aren't going to remember his senior season. They're going to remember how his team did his senior season, and it seems like he's responded to that.
No, he won't. Winning is the ultimate goal,
right.
No matter what, no matter how. Yeah, I mean, that's, that people will remember the team, and obviously they're going to remember the season that a person has, but your legacy that you leave behind is really what you accomplish as a class and as a senior, and the success that you had as a team. We want them to leave a tremendous legacy behind. This whole class, not just him, but this whole class.
Well, one thing, you're talking about being a leader, but obviously he's a great runner. He catches the ball at the backfield. But in the West Feliciana game, he had 2 great blocks. One on the bubble screen, one on the run that Jimmy was behind him. And that's a part of a game that a lot of people don't see. But, so he's doing that as well.
Yeah. That something we'll have to continue to develop. When you get to the next level, pass protection is such a huge part of it. One, understanding. 2, being physically able to do it is just a huge part. There's a little bit more sophisticated and complicated, protection schemes, the higher levels that you go. And so that's a very important part of his game that we have to continue to develop.
Another one of the honorees that we have comes from our friends at Express Pros. They are the employment pros here in Alexandria in Central Louisiana. If you are looking for that ideal candidate, or maybe yourself, you need that one job, give the folks at Express Pros a call. They're over there next to Hobby Lobby and all of that. But they've started a program that's called You Had One Job, and it generally we recognize one of the linemen offensively or defensively on there. And this week, Coach Elijah Nelson had one of those games.
Yep, had a sack that was really, really huge. Finds himself making plays, because he's got a really high football IQ. He kind of understands, what's going on and the different blocks that he has to play. He does a really good job with that. And, to go with Elijah. And so those were some huge stands when Destrehan had the ball right there, almost goal to go a couple of times. Those were some huge stands, and he was certainly a huge part of those. So very, very proud of him individually, but that group, I don't necessarily think that the 27 points are completely an accurate picture of how we played.
Yeah, not at all.
It was One was an offensive touchdown that was my fault on the pick six. Was on me. That's a terrible play call, and when I saw it developing, I should have called timeout and got out of that because that was a huge moment in the game. But so 7 of those are off. You have the 80-yard screen play where we missed 3 tackles. We got to get that on the ground, and then the other drives were penalty.
3 penalties, 3 15-yard penalties on the one drive that got them down there.
We had the late hit on the pile, jumping on the pile there when we're about to have them 3rd and 11. That led to a first down. We had the face mask penalty on that drive. I know there was 30. I'm trying to think right off the top.
There was 30 on that drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other one, we intercept the ball. We're about to get off the field. We get the pass interference call. We got a couple more. And, with that, we still got to find a way to get off the field.
Yeah.
But when they hit the huge corner route, right? And J. Lou runs it down and we get it on the ground. They're on like the 10-yard line. We preach at them all the time. They give 0 points for big plays.
Look, if he quits and gives up on that play, what a difference!
Bust your tail, get the ball on the ground, make them snap it again. Let's find a way to get a stop. And that was one of those moments where the things that we try to make an emphasis to the kids showed up and they delivered in a crucial moment there. After the punt situation where we Daniel almost makes him miss and then he tries to get it off. Our backs against the wall there on defense, and we're able to get a stand there too. So
look, it was a tremendous awareness out of Crenshaw on that because that it could have been ugly.
Yep. No, a lot of things we've got to continue to improve on, and that's the played extremely hard, but we can certainly play a lot better. We can execute at a higher level to go along with the effort, to go along with the play hard. We've got to continue to refine and sharpen that execution part of the game.
Well, we're going to wrap up our coverage of last week's game and the start of the season. When we come back, we're going to talk to a couple of the players that are in here tonight. A great contingency of folks in here tonight, too. Look, we've seen more and more of the players that have made their way out here on Thursday night, and it just shows that chemistry, that bonding, all of that is there.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to it. We'll look ahead. We'll visit with some of the guys, maybe see if one of our coaches is out there that we'll visit with, too. We'll do all of that when we come back, and we'll look ahead to that little trip down I-49 to Opelousas. I know the Tigers are getting ready for the Trojans. That should be another big game out of their second defending champion that we will face this season. We'll face 3 of them before this thing is put to bed. Guys, don't go anywhere. It is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing, and we're right here live from Walk-Ons on 446 Sports.
I just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby,
to better serve our Senlaw family, Wallace Eye Associates proudly welcomes Louisiana native Dr. Nicholas Bro to the Wallace team.
I definitely feel very lucky and fortunate to be here with Wallace Eye and just to be practicing in Louisiana, born and raised and trained here my whole life. So I do feel very fortunate to be able to give back to this state that has given me so much.
When it's time for cataract surgery, there's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
And welcome back out to Walk-Ons, where we're here for another edition of the Thomas Bachman Show, Week 4 edition of it. An opportunity to talk to another couple of the guys. It's Cartez Simon that is here, number 1 on the field, and Jaden Lewis, you hear us refer to him as J. Lou. A lot of times he's number 16, and they're here. Guys, welcome to the show. There you go. Look, going back a couple of weeks, and then we'll bounce around. We'll talk about the Destrehan some, but Cortez, week 1, you had quite a game in that West Feliciana game. The block punt had the stop and I guess the half a second when they were trying to fake it as well. Man, the intensity that you play with out there, where does that come from?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been playing like that since freshman year.
Right. Well, look, all of that confidence you have out on the field. Look, and every picture you see, you got this going on and all of this, and now you're not getting shy on me, are you? Is he always this way, Jelly?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. All right. Now, what you guys experience? This defense has gotten stronger. You guys have not really backed down from any challenge. You've had some challenges. You've made them look pretty easy defensively. What's the secret to it this year, Jay?
Probably our aggressiveness. We've been in
Fix that for me real quick. There you go.
We've been in the weight room. We've been working. So, Cartez, he been working hard, and, he built a lot of aggressiveness. So,
one of the things that may have got lost in a lot of things is there was that deep play. This going back to the Destrehan game, and we'll jump around a lot too. When you chase that guy down, a lot of people would have just give up on the play, but you chase him down and get it, and that leads to a big stop that's in there. What is it that gives you that drive to go down there and say, nah, we're not giving up on this?
Because you never know what could happen.
Right.
I've seen a lot of plays whenever somebody gets stopped at the 1, they hold them down for a goal line stop. So I just look back on that.
Well, indeed, we looked at it, and it was certainly one of those big ones on there. When you guys are out there and you see these opportunities like tomorrow night, when Opelousas, defending state champions, and second defending state champion, and I know that's last year and all, but it's still, you're the champ until you're not the champ anymore. That's on there. When you looked at it and you see the schedule, knowing all of that, I mean, what was it? We wanted just Destrehan's coming here, West Monroe's coming here, Ruston's coming here, Neville's coming here. You guys get an opportunity to perform in front of your home crowd. How pumped up does that get you guys?
I'm very excited for it. No, I look at it, I think it's time to go to work. Yeah, it's another day.
Look, practices have been pretty intense today. I heard that, or this year, I've heard today it got pretty intense there. Coach Bachman, that 3-0 isn't good enough.
There's always improvement.
What's the thing? What is the one thing that you guys think that you've grown the most from? And I'll ask both of you this question: from, say, the scrimmage to the jamboree up to where we're sitting at week 4.
I feel like our chemistry between each other has gotten better since the scrimmage.
Before we get to you, Jay, look, Coach Bachman talked about that too. And those that are new to the program may not understand about the chemistry thing. Why on earth did that make you guys play better as a team?
Because communication, like while we're in zone and all that, that's important. Like calling all the in and ins and all that.
Jaden, I guess you look at teams that aren't as successful on there, you've got people getting out of position because they think they've got to go cover somebody else's position. You guys are fundamentally sound and staying where you're at. Where does that come from?
It comes from film. We watch a lot of film, and we pick up on stuff. I make sure that we all watch film.
How difficult is it with Coach Merce? Does he get pretty spirited on those defensive practices?
Yeah. He's loud.
But now when he's here on the show, he's not very loud. He's always tame and he's always well reserved. He gets pretty loud.
Yeah, really.
Look, he hollered at me one time at practice because I was over there filming the quarterbacks, and he says, there's more to football than just offense. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty solid on there. You guys seem like you've responded to every challenge. You look at some other teams that have played some schedules that aren't as tough on there, and they'll come out with an inflated record. You guys sitting at 3-0, so it's good to be that way. But what do you take, knowing that you're playing in one of the toughest districts in the state, if not the toughest district in the state? What does this non-district slate do to get you guys ready for district? Because quite frankly, 5-0 in non-district is great if we can get there. But taking care of business against the West Monroes, Neville's, Rustons, Washita's, Pomels, all of that is there. What does that do to get you prepared for your district slate playing these tough games?
Well, we have a lot of tough opponents, so I'm pretty sure if we play Destrehan and other teams like that, then we'll be ready to play them.
There you go. Look, I've heard you're pretty fast, and I've seen it. You the fastest one on the team?
Nah.
No. Are you faster than him?
No, I think I am.
Look, who's the fastest? You sit out there at practice and watch somebody go down the field. Who are you looking at going, man, that's...
It's hard to, I don't know.
A lot of speed out there, though, too. When you guys go against that offense on there, and they're high profile, they're putting up a lot of points on there. How much better does it get you going against that type of an offense every day?
Very good. Like we got JT, Jimmy, Darius. They're always making us better. They give us a whole bunch of high profile, talent.
Look, I'm going to tell you what, I don't know of many offenses that you'll face in the season that are putting up more points and doing a better job than the one across from you every day. So what does it show to see that offensive side of it grow up, that you're not having to go out and do everything? Yes, you guys are holding the points down on there too, but knowing that the offense is putting up those kind of points, that you can just go out there and pin your ears back and go get them.
What you mean? What? You don't got nothing to say? Nah.
Look, I'm so glad that when the helmets are on and the pads are on, that y'all go out there and get it. Give me your best Coach Mercer story. He's not listening. He is, but don't.
You go first. I got to think. I remember one time we was doing one-on-ones, and, they caught the ball, and I started running. Coach Mercer, he gave me, the biggest, that's the loudest I heard him scream. Telling me to get up and start running. He made me run back to the end zone and come back.
Oh, wow.
Basically the same thing with him, because sometimes in practice, when we're on one-on-ones, they catch the ball and then we just don't run after the ball, finish through. He's always getting mad about that. He's big on effort.
Look, he's we've seen him that way from all out. Let's look at a little bit at the Destrehan game too. You guys both had great games. Cortez, you had 8 tackles, 7 of them by yourself and 1 for a loss on there. J. Lou had 7 tackles, all 7 of them by yourself on there too. That's putting in big numbers, letting everybody do that. You guys fly to the ball well. Where do you get the instincts?
Practice, wheel drills. We work a lot on tackling. We work on tackling more than anything. So I'm pretty sure we're just used to that. Mm-hmm.
What do you see the front 7 have played so solid? That defensive line, your linebackers, Xavier White, just an amazing. Knowing that you don't have to go do a different job, but that you can just stay on your man and you guys can go tackle. How impressed with you are that front 7?
Oh, you see, when I'm back playing coverage.
Yep.
I'm not really that worried about, running backs coming to me or quarterbacks coming to me, because I always think they got it down back there.
Most of the time they do.
Yeah, we could trust them.
Look, that's what speaks to the chemistry side of it. You look at tomorrow night, without getting into details or any of that, going against a very solid ball club that's going to come out there and they're going to run the football. What is your approach in a game like that?
So we just gotta be prepared to tackle him. He's a really good running back. He's bigger, so
He is. Deshaun Ford is the young man that will be the running back. They've got a 4-year starter at quarterback too. That's one of the best in the business as well. So, how much film do you think you guys have watched on Opelousas this week?
we watch a lot. Yeah, they're pretty predictable. We just gotta do what we gotta do.
How long is it after the Destrehan game that you started looking ahead to Opelousas?
That's Saturday.
You wait till at least you waited till Saturday. So that's good stuff. Well, guys, we appreciate you being with us too. Anybody at home that you want to say hello to?
I want to say hey to my mom.
There you go.
My mom too.
There you have it. Guys, we appreciate y'all without a doubt. Cortez Simon, Jaden Lewis joining us here on the Thomas Bachman Show. Gentlemen, we appreciate you, and go out there and let's go get another one tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We will be back to walk-ons on this beautiful Thursday night. It is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by Sadler's Towing on 446 Sports.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
I just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know
And welcome back, everyone. We are here live at Walk-Ons. A very good crowd. How's our crowd, Cam, Brad? Is that there they are. Let's get everybody to. Well, at least this table's a spirited bunch, so we appreciate you guys up here. Get the rest of your crowd up and going back there. Look, that just tells you that the food. Thank you, and there's Miss Janelle. That's got us.
The food's good.
The food is indeed very good. There had to be another penalty on that to let the Cowboys score. I think they missed a holding call or something. I don't know. Anyways, great look at the crowd. As always, it has been full from week one, Coach, just on here. And what is that? You told us last week, I don't know if it was on the air or off the air, you said that you just hoped that you had a moment to turn around and look up at the crowd. And you did that, and we talked earlier. Tell me about that crowd.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great moment to see the stands almost completely full. We can always add more people.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, for the game to be promoted the way that it was, and for people to turn out to see a football game, not
Right.
for the anniversary of the school or homecoming or all the things that come along.
There wasn't a reason to come out other than a good game.
Than a football game.
Right.
And so, I feel like I've said this a bunch, but I'm going to continue to say it. I just want to say thank you. I know that these young men, these boys work extremely hard. We require a lot of them, and they're doing their best to give us the things that we're asking for. And so moments like that and atmospheres like that are, I think, part of the motivation. And And I think we're going into that environment tomorrow night.
Oh, there's no doubt.
You know, I do think it's going to be another electric atmosphere. It's what high school football should be. It's a great football team that will all line up, that is competitive with, skilled players, talented players, coached players. And, the structure and organization and discipline that they play with on film is, you tip your hat, and, there's respect for the opponent and the way that they play the game of football. And, it's challenging, but all right, we got to go be at our best in this thing. So I just think that, I know we're talking about last Friday night and the atmosphere and the environment, and I hope it's the first of many more. I mean, there's so many big ball games on our schedule still to play, starting with tomorrow night.
Well, you go in and to a game like Friday night that's coming up, and we were able to talk to Coach Jimmy Zachary, the head coach down there, and he's just as passionate as you'll find out there. Been doing it a long time. Didn't know he was on Coach Spatz's staff back in 2013. That was a great story that he had told us out there. But
he's a graduate of Opelousas.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So he loves it. Look, he knows Opelousas like the back of his hand, and he got as excited talking about the state championship as he did about Mama's Fried Chicken that was down there when we brought that up at the end of it. So we're excited to see all of that. But one of the things that we asked him about it, man, you guys were on the road 12 out of 15 weeks last season. You come out here and one of your games gets moved because of field conditions. One of them out of the hurricane that was coming up. He says, you just go play ball is all that you do. If you want favorable conditions, go coach inside a gym or get to the dome. I was like,
I like that mentality.
That's exactly right.
Just respect for the program and what you see on film, obviously what they've accomplished, and you look it up and you see what they watching last year winning the state championship. But when you really start diving into the film and watching the quality of play that they have with the quality of players that they have, you're in for another one. Strap it on and you better be ready to compete. I think we said that, last week. I don't know if we said it on air. Put a ball down and compete, and getting the kids to embrace that. Is certainly something that they've done, and they will have to continue to, because it's. I don't know. I'm anxious to see what we get, but I just feel like it's going to be another one of those electric atmospheres.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about before off air about the 17 seniors, and of course they're obviously defending state champs. But one of the things that really impressed me on the film was they don't do anything pre-snap that's uncharacteristic. They're just fundamentally sound, especially on defense, and they're very athletic.
Yeah, they're giving you some small little tweaks and different ways that they're attacking you and formationally.
I got you.
They'll give you a little bit that where you got to line up to, and you got to have your kids prepared. There's how do I say, to reference, you watch Acadiana and they're in a couple of formations. Boy, they're doing a lot more than you think they're doing.
Gotcha.
They're really, and I don't say that like trying to.
No, that's good.
That's good. They are giving you some subtle things defensively, or attacking you defensively with formations and the way they're doing some personnel, and there's a lot more going on than maybe. Oh man, they're just running the ball. Yeah, they're you can, and that's what I mean by you turn on film, you see a team that that is well prepared. And then I don't know whether you recognize the quality of player, and then you recognize how well prepared they are. But you see both of them when you turn on the film, and
you go back to last year in that semifinal game, I guess that they played. North DeSoto comes into Opelousas high flying on there. I guess the game was up at North DeSoto is where it was at. And I go on a show and I pick North DeSoto in the game, and man, they come out and said, be careful. They can play good defense, and they're going to come out and do this. So I mean, they're not coming in looking at, oh, this is 5A. This is a 5A squad. They feel they're as good as anybody.
Yeah, no doubt they do, and they should. They're great team. And then what we talked about earlier, confidence, past performance. I mean, obviously. They can say, been there, done that.
Right.
We have the past performance to hang our hat on in some really big ball games and have done that and made the plays in crucial moments. So, It's going to be an all-out battle.
Zach Malvo is a 4-year starter at quarterback for Opelousas on there. Give me your thoughts on him.
Dangerous as a runner, as a passer. You see the veteran leadership and
Right.
just the understanding of situations. Now he's from the second we turned on the film and, knew, I'm talking about through the all season and all of it, like he grabs your attention immediately of like, all right, this is a field drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their running back,
Deshaun Ford.
Yeah, Deshaun Ford. He's very impressive.
He's a load.
He's a stout
Runs
young man,
extremely
but
hard, breaks a lot of tackles. Yep, he's a load.
yeah, and he can end the play too. I mean, he can finish. He can take it to the house.
Yep.
Which was very impressive for a player that size.
Yep.
But you look when you made this schedule, you didn't look at you didn't know Union's going to win the state title. You didn't know, but it made a very, very solid schedule on there. And I talked to J. Lou and to Cortez about it too. This type of a non-district coach, and we've talked about it over and over, man, that gets you ready for what you're facing here in a couple of weeks when you start 2-5-8.
You hope so, and then 2-5-8 gets you ready for what you're going to see come November in the playoffs. And hopefully you're preparing for that and everything that you do, from the way you train in the winter to the summer to, it's all about trying to play your best football on a given Friday night because you've prepared well and you're prepared, and the quality of opponent. The thing that it does, and I don't know where I said this, but schemes change depending on your play. The level of execution and the quality of player and coaching that goes, that's been pretty consistent. And
Right.
that will be, you're facing this style of offense and this structure of defense this week, or, those things change, but the level of execution that they perform with what they do, is going to be at a high level and has been and will be at a high level, with our district, just, the schemes that they run change from week to week. The high level of execution stays consistent. The great athletes, great players, the way that they're attacking you on each side of the ball makes it a lot of fun, because you got to prepare extremely hard, or you stand a chance to get your butt embarrassed.
They say, in tying into that, your biggest improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. I think I saw a lot of improvement and growth going from week 2 to week 3. Take us from week 1. What are a couple of things as you go into week 4 that you say, you know what? We've progressed at this. This is good of where we're at. I know it's not great. I know there's always stuff to work on, but there's a couple of things that you pull out that you say, hey, you know what? I'm satisfied with our progression here.
Situational understanding would be the thing for me, is that situational understanding. What's the situation? There are big moments. Every play is big. Every play can help determine score points, take points off the board. But then there are some big moments, 3rd and 4th down, zones of the field, where you really understand the gravity of the moment, and you're able to perform at your best. And it can be a couple of key moments can be the difference in winning and losing a ball game like this.
Well, yeah, and you're talking about that. You're talking about, having that situational. I was very impressed after the game, and we talked about it. Whenever you go to address your team, those young men, they weren't hooping and hollering. They knew that they were there to do a job, and they did it. After that Destrehan game, and that was very impressive. And I think that's another one of those growing steps to where, probably before you got here, they're probably if Alexandria Senior High beats a team like that, they're probably running on the field,
tearing the goalposts
before
down.
you got here. So that's a very impressive. That's a very impressive thing, is that your program, they feel like and they know that they should win.
They
games
expect
like
to win
that.
it.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you outperform your own expectations.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge part of it. I think our kids have high standards for themselves. I think they believe in what they're doing and believe in their ability to perform. So, make sure you have high expectations and you believe in yourself before anybody else does. And that's certainly the case. I mean, our kids are while we're very hard on them, sometimes I wonder if they know that we think they do some things right, because
Well, when you talk to them, and it doesn't matter which group we talk to, week in or week out, Coach, we ask them, and I ask them that question. Every one of them that sits down in those chairs, I ask them. I said, "Look, how are you not having to rely on what somebody else is doing? You're just able to go out and do your job on there." watching film, and watching film. I was like, look, how soon after Destrehan was at Opelousas this week? He's like, Saturday morning. You're sitting there working on it. And so it's that type of a mindset that says, hey, we're going to be prepared. And when we come out and see it, we react to it.
Yeah, strong preparation, being prepared, knowing that you've given everything that you can give to getting ready can lead to confidence, in the moments that we talked about as far as crucial and situational awareness, and just, that even if you get your back against the wall or, things don't work out perfect, that, hey, we can do this.
Look, I remember sitting here a week ago and we're so excited, man. The Destrehan game's just 24 hours away and that's gone. But the big game is the next game, Coach. It's always the one that you're getting ready to play. And when we were talking to Coach Zachary last night, he's in there and he's getting chill bumps just talking to him. And this is going to be a battle. This is really. What do you say to somebody that says, I don't know, it's 45, 50 minutes down to Opelousas. I don't know if I want to drive that far.
No, our people have always traveled well.
That's right.
It's a great place, great thing to be a part of. This is a great community. We always travel well. There's nothing, for me, all the things that come along with football are very, very rewarding and exciting to me. So
I want to shout out the band real quick. So
when we trot in the band and cheer and dance.
2 weeks ago, when we were at Union Parish, we're sitting up there and their band was playing. And in the press box, the PA announcer and the young lady that was doing the spotting on there, they're like, all we hear is their band playing. We don't even hear ours. It was so loud and it was so intense. It's the kind of stuff that we're used to seeing when you go up to that school up in the Northeast and they surround you with all their people. It was that type of travel.
The ripple effects of successful football are a lot of fun to watch and see. And so, we're going to travel well. I have no doubt about that tomorrow night. We're going to travel well. Our parents, our community, it's second to none. And, for as far as us and coaches and players, we want to reward that with a performance that they can be proud of and the way that we play the game. And it's going to be great. We're going to travel well. So, I don't think anybody's second guessing it. But if you are, get in the car and get on down there.
This will be on YouTube right after the game concludes. Right. You can watch it on the way back from Opelousas if you want to, but take the trip down I-49.
On a lighter note, y'all had Popeye's chicken as a coaching staff last week.
We have it every week.
Okay. I was going to ask if that okay.
About 11:30. Popeye's is here, boys. And,
and here they come.
It's really, well, that's a lie. I'll get me a chocolate chip cookie or two at pregame meal. It's the last thing I eat before.
It's a chocolate chip cookie.
Post-game meal.
Yeah.
Goodness, I see. And this is year 9 or 10 that we've been doing the show, I guess. And it's the first I've known about that being your go-to before the game.
I don't.
Where do they come from? Is it one that Miss Coach makes for you and puts in a little container and sends with you in a lunchbox?
No.
I built that story up as well as I could.
We've got people that are incredible to us and bring it to the field house. And
I just, in my mind, I guess, because I watched Friday Night Lights and I see all this, I see in the morning before you go off, she's got this fresh baked cookies and she wraps it up in a.
She's incredible. I mean, and I don't say that because we're all
right.
She's incredible. The job she does in the house for us to allow me to spend all this time at the field house and the support. No, it's a team effort, and every success that we have out there, and not only for me but for all the coaches, it's the support we get from behind the scenes from our wives that certainly allow us to do what we do.
When I was in school, Coach Parmley was Brownie Parmley was our head coach, and Coach Parmley. I mean, he's stout. He's a man's man. Okay. At the banquet, first person he would think would be his wife. So as a teenager, I'm thinking, why is this? Well, coaching 25 years, you understand because
what they go through,
that's
what's
right.
on their shoulders.
That's right.
During the season. Pretty incredible. So,
we've often heard that story about you growing up and your mom and the way that she lived with all of the coaches on there with your dad coaching, your brothers, you, and all of that. And she's a saint of a woman, without a doubt.
Yep. Yep. Very, very fiery too. Don't think that they don't have their opinions behind the scenes, and no, it's awesome.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap up tonight's version of it. I just somehow thought Friday mornings the Bachman house smelled like chocolate chip cookies, and it would. No, anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm not going to get myself in more trouble than I am good. Coach Bachman, it has been a great show as always. Tremendous crowd that has made their way out here tonight. As always, having a good time. We thank the folks at Walk-Ons, of course, the folks at Sadler's Towing. You can see the truck left. So that's their new truck that they've got. That's the one that it's the roadside assistance truck. If you've got a flat or lock your keys out or run out of gas, whatever it is, you just call 447 SADL. I don't know what the numbers are anymore. She told 7235, but it spells SADL.
We can vouch for that.
You had to use that?
Yep, we've had it.
That's the only problem with being outside is that you have that.
I wouldn't go try and talk about for the roadside assistance from Sadler's Towing.
Well, look, we had it. Anytime you need it, just give them a call. We couldn't do any of it without them or any of the fine sponsors that sponsor what we do in order for us to give back to the community, guys. Thank you so much. From my man Brett Stallsby over here doing the produce. Nick Magnano down on the right. I could say Sadler's Towing scrolling scoreboard, but I can't see dadgum Nick Magnano.
No worries.
Can I?
No worries.
Goodness gracious, it's been one of those nights. Head coach Thomas Bachman, we'll see you down in Opelousas, my friend. Yep. For all of us in attendance tonight, that's going to wrap it up. God bless you all, and good night.